What's up? This is your girl, Chanel Loren.
Here's DJ Dunson on the ones and twos.
And you are tuned into another edition of the Verve Sessions.
Hey,
What's going on, Mickey?
I feel very tired after working all day on the slave ship. So, I'm here, man.
It's real.
Man. It's real in the Ville, man.
It really is. I spent all day thinking it was Thursday.
Oh, jeez.
What a letdown. What a letdown when I realized the truth.
How long did it take you to figure that all out?
Probably like 3:00 p.m.
Oh, damn. You spent a good part of the day. You spent a majority of the day.
I didn't realize it. I listened. One of my favorite podcasts comes out on Thursday, so I kept checking SoundCloud. Why is it not uploaded? And then Maya Angelou passed. We'll talk about that in a second. And then the article said, Maya Angelou died Wednesday morning. And I'm like, wait. Oh. I found out today. I know she didn't die yesterday. And I was like, God damn. Today is Wednesday.
Dang.
Yeah, it sucks.
Where did she die from? I know we're gonna talk about that later, but
we can just hop on into it. They didn't say. She's been sick. I don't know if you've.
Yeah, I heard something.
She's been sick for a while. I'm a very big fan of Oprah and the OWN Network, and Oprah adores her. So, I haven't seen her stand. She's been in wheelchair. She's been in a wheelchair. Yeah. She's 86, but she's been in a wheelchair for some time. And I know, recently, I think it was last week, or over the weekend maybe, they were talking about how she canceled some upcoming dates, and she was in a hospital. But they didn't say the severity. But I knew that it was coming. I knew today was coming.
Okay,
just
so you
because
can feel it
I've seen her over the past year, and she didn't look well. She really wasn't talking much, and she just put out a book I think last year. But in her interview she was like, I don't want to say her speech was slurred, but she wasn't herself.
Dang.
So I was just like, nah, something's up. Wish her well, but then when I heard about it, I was like, damn.
Yeah, and how old was she?
86.
That's
they found her caretaker found her dead in her sleep this morning in Winston-Salem.
Al, you could have chimed in on that,
but he's not here.
Could have had your attaboy, but
right. But I think we talked about this when we had Tiffany on the show a couple weeks ago, and we were just talking about the level of Black history that was taught throughout all of our schooling. And I have a group chat. We discuss crazy stuff all day long, and I was talking about how much of an impact Maya Angelou had on me early on, because I was a poetry head, really, really into poetry. And a lot of people, they was like, okay, I know Maya Angelou, but they couldn't they couldn't pinpoint one thing. And I was just like, man, as an African American, that saddens me.
Talk about it.
To be an 80s baby and to not know not one book, not one title of a poem, not one line of a poem, that's I don't know. And a lot of people was just homegirl of mine said that poems and certain Black history information, her parents had to consent for her to learn about this stuff. And
really?
I was like, Maya Angelou, poetry? It wasn't seductive.
She might inspire gangsterisms.
I just was like, wow,
she might inspire people to rise.
I had amazing literature teachers, and in college I had an amazing African American women's studies of 1865 up to whatever. You
remember the name of the teacher?
No. But she inspired my locking process when I was in college.
Really?
Yeah. I wanted locks right before I went to, I know we're all over the place, little segue, but I wanted locks when I graduated high school and I cut my hair. And then I was like, I'm going to let my perm grow out. And then I realized that mentally, I wasn't ready for that change. I was like, oh, this ugly phase, I can't. But the older...
The little small afro?
Yeah, the TWA. I was just like, I'm not ready. So then I just let my hair grow out. But yeah, my teacher, my professor had locks, and her shit was like down her ass. And I was like, I'm going to do this one day. Not today, but one day. And here I am today.
Was it gray locks? Or were they still...
No, she wasn't old.
Okay.
She probably was in her 40s.
And were they dope looking?
No, they wasn't dope. But I was just like, the length of them... Like, she wasn't the type to get them done all the time.
Okay, so they had a little Miami in them.
Yeah, but they were long. And I was just like, man, I can't wait to have locks that long. Like, you can tell her journey. Like, she had them joints for more than 10 years. So I was just impressed with that. But... you ever a teacher that is like super passionate, therefore you're passionate? Even
exactly.
I always, I don't want to say hated history because that sounds awful, but history was always boring to me.
Yeah.
Until I had my college professor, and I was like, yo, I had straight A's. I never had A's in history, like maybe a B minus.
Wow.
But I had straight A's, like. And the year before, I like had horrible history grades until I had, because I swear the teacher was like a slave owner in my mind. He looked like a slave owner.
Meaning he was white?
He was white and had the hat. He looked like a slave owner.
Oh, geez. Like he looked like he had a plantation.
Precisely. So when he spoke, I was just like, he's calling me nigga. And I couldn't follow the lesson. I think I dropped the class, actually. And then the next year, I had this African-American lady who was everything. I got straight A's. I digress.
I mean, hey, that shows all you kids, you know, you got to find a teacher that believes in you, inspires you, and gives you passion.
And you know what? That's hard these days to find. Oh, but what I wanted to say was...
Tangent.
Yeah, back to Maya Angelou. This is... Some of you might find this funny, some of you may not. But I laughed because I have a weird sense of humor. So on Instagram, somebody posted today, for all of my hood followers... All of the poetry that you heard in Poetic Justice was written by Maya Angelou. You're welcome. So basically to say, none of you fools know who Maya Angelou is, but if you've seen Poetic Justice with Tupac and Janet Jackson, to put it in layman's terms, all that poetry that Justice, a.k.a. Janet Jackson, was reciting in that movie.
I like that name, Justice.
It's a beautiful name. Those beautiful words were written by the... late and great Maya Angelou.
You know what? I'm not gonna give myself I didn't, because I haven't seen Poetic Justice in a long time, and the last time I saw it on TV, wasn't in the mood. Yeah. Poetic Justice. Certain movies I have to be in a certain mood to watch them. So it's like I would saw Tupac, I was like, oh, okay, switch. I wasn't on it. I did not feel like seeing that. It's a love
story, so you got to be in the mood.
Yeah, I had to be in that mode. So yeah, but I now I'm glad that has been injected back. So I now know.
Now the next time you hear "Still I Rise," you'll be like, Maya Angelou. Right.
Oh my gosh.
Right.
Yeah, but that's sad that people don't really. I knew that she was definitely, I knew about her books, why Cageberg sings and
one of my favorite books in high school.
Different things of that nature. I knew she was a poet, and I knew that she was great for the culture. Like when she spoke about things, people listened.
Yes.
So I didn't know everything about Maya Angelou, but I definitely knew that she was definitely, a cornerstone to the African American culture that we have.
I feel like there are certain people that stand out in Black history, right? Break it down in categories. So you have like inventors. There are certain inventors. I can't think of any right now.
George Washington Carver.
Thank you.
I love inventions.
Yeah, so it's just like, okay, well, who invented the stop sign? Who invented the stoplight? Stuff like that.
I feel bad.
Right now I can't think of it, but
I
was taught these things, guys. Don't judge me, DJM. And then you have your poets. I mean, when you think of Langston Hughes, in the same breath, Maya Angelou, Nikki Giovanni. Maybe you just stop with 3. At least know these 3 people.
Yeah. I like that. I like that rule because that
at least name me 3.
I like that.
Where you not. If you weren't taught, then it's like, okay. But then our parents, you can't put so much emphasis. And I guess because I was raised by a village of people. Mm-hmm. It was my mom, my grandmother, my grandfather, and my father. Like, I had to do book reports. Like,
for them?
Outside of school. Like,
jeez.
Yeah.
Oh, your peoples were serious.
Yeah, like, read the encyclopedia. Like, yeah. So it was just like, but now I didn't have, all I had was my Walkman and my boombox and my Sega or Super Nintendo. But it's different today when it's like, I don't want to do that. I'd rather FaceTime. I'd rather text. I'd rather, I didn't have that many distractions. So it was just like, if you want to go outside and play, do this book report. And then you can play. Okay. Easy. I'm going to read this book fast as hell. Write this what, when, why, how. Mm-hmm. So I can go outside and play. But it's not like that today.
Wait, did your peoples ever say what inspired them to do that? Was it just for them to get you knowledgeable about it? About, different things?
I never asked. My grandmother was just very much into education. And
nice.
So was my father. Like, when I stayed over my father's house, I hated going. Because before I could do anything, I had to. And he would always, like, whenever he would get me, he would, I had a library. So he would get me, like, black books with black people in them. And I had to read them and do a book report. Every single time I went to his house. And it's just like, as a child, I hated him for it. But today, I'm like, you had a plan. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Is he a militant type of? Is he kind of Huey? He got a little Huey in him.
No.
A little Malcolm in him.
None. I guess he was like, my daughter's gonna know how to read and comprehend. And
like,
English turned out to be my favorite subject in school. So there you have it. Thanks, Dad.
Nice. Yeah. I thought he was giving you the pick and everything, the pendant and everything. I found that
later in life. He had nothing.
Oh, so that's your own journey.
That's my journey.
Oh, okay. Oh, when you were doing the books, I'm thinking, she passed you down the.
No.
You know what I mean?
No.
Oh, well, that's cool. Well, still, it's good. You know, it's a lot of kids that don't know how to read because their parents aren't putting them down and
they don't
know
how to
down.
read because they're not typing papers. Mm-hmm. We used to have to handwrite or use a typewriter.
Yeah, that is true.
They're texting and they're BRB, LMAO, everything
it's messing
is
up the language.
Yeah. So
learn how to spell. Don't just leave it. Don't leave great GWRT. Don't do that.
When I'm texting my siblings, it's annoying because I abbreviate everything when I'm talking to my friends, but when I'm talking to them because they're young, I spell everything out. And it's just like, I wish I could talk to them like my friends, but I have to set the example. Like, I really want you to know how to spell, so I don't want to abbreviate, like.
Have you ever had them misspell something? Do you tell them if they misspell something in
the
text?
They'll misspell something, but I'm like, is that because they're lazy or they really don't know? And I don't want to be like, hey, you know, it's kind of not even fun to talk anymore when you're like, hey, you misspelled. And they're like, really?
TTL, what was taught to you later? TT,
are you my English teacher? So, yeah, let's just pick up the phone and call one another. Yeah, but R.I.P. to Maya Angelou. And I feel like
you're the one.
I feel like it'll be televised.
The funeral?
Absolutely.
Will you watch it?
Absolutely.
I can't watch funerals. Makes me sad.
Funerals make me sad. And I haven't been to many in my life, thank God. But I was there for Michael Jackson, and I was there at the TV in front of for Whitney. I think I called out of work for Whitney.
Oh, really?
I called out of work. Yeah, it was on a weekend. I was working my part-time. Called out of work for Whitney, and I DVR'd it, but I also sat there and watched the whole thing and tweeted and did all that other jazz with people. Mm-hmm. But for Maya Angelou, I'll definitely DVR it if I'm at work.
Okay. Yeah, that's
because you know that it's always a lesson. Mm. Like, Oprah was a huge part of her life. So I'm sure if she's able and she's not, like, really, really distraught, it's going to be some great speeches.
That is true.
It's going to be some gems. It's going to be some gems. True. Give people their flowers while they're here. Her last tweet, Maya Angelou's last tweet, I forgot. Hold on. It was
Wait a
on
minute.
Instagram.
Maya Angelou tweeted?
Oh, she was on. Yes, May 23rd was her last tweet. Oh, don't get it twisted. She was connected to the folk, Mickey.
What?
She was out here in these streets.
Maya Angelou was tweeting.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, her last tweet was May 23rd, and it said, "Listen to yourself. In that quiet tune, you might hear the voice of God."
She did do motivate. I think I've retweeted some of her stuff because a lot of her stuff. A matter of fact, it was a lot of things that I've read today on Instagram that were very inspirational, and it was like, I love just the way her mind works and the way that she thinks about how to go about life. I think it's pretty powerful. You can take some lessons from that. You can't lose with the different advice things that she was given.
I just think that Oprah kept her legacy alive because after I left school, it was kind of like I didn't reread those books. I mean, I had poem books that had, I had like a book of her poems, but that's not something that I read often. Mm-hmm. But because Oprah had this platform and she had the book club and masterclass, and just throughout Oprah's whole career, Maya Angelou was like a mother to her. So she had her on the program all the time. So I've seen her so many times and, was knowledgeable about all of her endeavors and new books and blah, blah, blah. So I'm sure Oprah will do like a marathon.
Jeez.
I'm sure she will.
I can't wait. I would love to catch up on that and see.
Dropping gems, Mickey.
I know, man. Dropping a bag.
Dropping these gems. I just want to, this is way off topic, right? Oh, jeez. And I know all of our fans. The mic. I know. I'm tired of bending down. My neck hurts. Switching gears, though. Mm-hmm. Over Memorial Day weekend, Kanye and Kim got married.
Kimye.
Got married. Pictures were stunning.
They had some dope ideas. I can't really lie about that.
They did not go left. Kanye in his fashion. Yeah. Fear of God. They go a little left. Nice tailored suit.
It was dope.
She had a nice, I don't know who her gown was by. Balenciaga, Balmain, something. I don't know. Stunning.
Dope.
Stunning.
I love the leather jacket thing I saw on Instagram.
Oh, just married on the back?
Yeah, that was
amazing.
Dope. I mean, that's when I don't know if Kim's super creative or not, but if she is, it just looks like, it does look like it's not just Kanye. It looks like they both were creative.
Look at this flower wall.
Wow.
Pure happiness. People hate, but love is hard to find. True love is hard to find. And when you find it, hold on to it and cherish it. So,
that's a public service announcement.
Yes, from Chanel Loren of the Verve Sessions.
That is a really beautiful picture.
It's beautiful. Make that thing official. You got this baby. Go ahead, Mr. and Mrs. West.
I hope it lasts forever. I really do. I hate to see like beautiful weddings with all these beautiful pictures and beautiful stuff, and
the thing is, people are like, "Oh my God, I can't believe it's so extravagant." I need everyone that's listening to know they did not pay a dime. That was E.
Oh yeah.
That footed that bill.
Oh yeah.
So real, recognize real. It will be it will be televised whenever the new season starts. I believe the new season starts. Oh, sorry, that was an Instagram post.
That was Chanel.
June, the first week of June or second week of June, you'll see the wedding.
The ratings?
Not the wedding, but the new season, the new Kardashian season starts.
The ratings that will have. E is about to come up on them ratings.
I was trying to find the list of people that were there.
I know Tiger was there.
Tiger Woods?
No.
Tiger and Black China.
Tiger the rapper, yeah. Tiger and Black China. Yeah, that would be funny if Tiger Woods was there.
What are you talking about?
He is a superstar. You never know.
John Legend and his wife were there. Yeah. Common was there. Lala was there. Big Sean.
Yeah, I saw Big Sean.
Kind of shocked me that Pusha T wasn't there. Serena Williams was there.
Okay.
Of course, the Carters were not. They were riding bikes in the Hampton. Total shade.
What? They really?
They were in the Hamptons riding their bikes.
I want to.
Well, I don't want to get it off your chest. No. Let's talk. Let's talk about it, Mickey.
I don't want to touch it.
We talked about this weeks ago, where everybody, your definition of friendship. You ever had somebody tell you, "You're my best friend," and you're like, "You're not mine."
But that never came out. The muffled part.
That muffled part never came out. You were shocked to hear it. Like, oh wow, somebody can look at you like you're literally their best friend. They hold you up here, and in your mind, you're like, oh man, they're cool guy, cool friend. I think that's where that whole Kanye.
You think so?
Evidently.
He called him Big Brother, though.
TV cameras will not stop me from supporting my AKA sister.
Even if you don't agree with it? Yeah. Even if you don't?
Your wedding day is one of the birth of your child and your wedding day, and if you go to school and graduate, those are some of the most precious times of your life. Oh. And you would want to see that if you love that person. And I get that you guys don't like cameras, but there should have been talks about, okay, well, I really want you to come. Like, I feel like the Carters never wavered. I feel like from the beginning they were like, oh no, here's the gift. We already know that circus is going to be there. Sorry, bro, we love you. We going to, chop it up when you come to Tribeca, but we not going to that. That's my thoughts.
Would you feel salty? Would that make you a little salty?
Absolutely.
I will say this.
Again, I said Beyonce and Jay-Z were at LeBron's wedding. Fucking LeBron.
Was his televised?
No.
But it was private. Yeah.
Still.
Yeah, but still. Yeah, you know what? And I think a lot of people, Jay-Z is the king. I think that Solange incident might have been the first time you ever seen him not in control of the situation, or not visibly in control of the situation.
I do you one better. If Jay-Z wasn't married to Beyonce, I feel like Jay would have been at the wedding.
You think so?
I feel like it's more of Beyonce.
Really?
Jay-Z was not before Beyonce. Jay-Z wasn't that, like, you could touch Jay. He wasn't that like, it's the Carters. Jay-Z's not on a pedestal. It's the Carters.
So it's
that Beyonce factor. Beyonce has made him more guarded.
Really?
You don't feel that?
I was thinking that the other way around. I was thinking Jay was more like reclusive and kind of whatever.
I think that's Beyonce. That's what the media has made her.
They have made her that way. When she was with
Destiny's Child, she wasn't untouchable. She was a goofball. Hardly ever talked in interviews. No. Everybody else in the group talked for her. Yeah. But now that she's this, King Bee, I feel like that has rubbed off on Jigga. And in order for us to be a family, we are one, we are a unit, we are a team. Mm-hmm. My wife is super private, and she does not like people in her business when she is not in control, because Beyonce is a control freak.
You think she's more private than Jay?
Absolutely.
It's a different perspective. I never thought of it from that way. I always thought because Jay is older and Jay is the kind of, young, bringing her up type of thing.
Jay knows Kanye's friend, so if the Kardashians filmed him, he wouldn't be doing anything but sitting there and dapping up.
You think it was a money thing? You think they wanted a piece of the action if they're going to be at the wedding?
I feel like everything is a business move with them.
I do feel they're very business heavy.
So, but I don't even think that was brought up. I think it was one of those things where it's like, we know your wife, we know how she gets down. Maybe I've never watched the TV show, but I'm aware of her antics.
That she monetizes everything.
And we can't be a part of that. No matter how it makes us look in the media.
But it's a wedding. I agree with you on the tip of, I'm not God. It's not for me to. She seems like she's a nice person. She seems like it, and they seem like they love each other.
People hate She seems like a doll.
Yeah, she doesn't seem like a bad person.
All of them seem like a doll.
I mean, she seems like, regardless of what anybody thinks, it looked. I feel like, I loved when he, the Amber thing looked real tight. It looked real cool. I was like, damn, okay, that's what's up. But it does look like the Kim thing more fits what he is. I think Kim fits what he is.
Yes.
I think Kim fits his. I think they connect, and I think if it was my boy, whether I agree with it or don't agree with it, whatever's connected to it, I agree that if you my mans, I'm supporting, regardless if I feel uncomfortable about cameras or not.
Do you think that Jay could have gone without B, and that would have been? Do you think that would have been? It would have been rumors like, oh, Jay goes without B after that Solange elevator fight. I wonder if there's trouble in paradise. Or you think it was like, we are not going. Yes.
It had to be we. I do think if he goes without them, it shows that there's a break in the armor. But
or not. Maybe it just shows that Beyonce's not fucking with Kim. But this is my thing. Beyonce and Jay-Z went to Donda's funeral. Kanye's mother. They were at the funeral. Beyonce and Kanye played Connect 4 after the funeral inside the church where his mother was buried. That's something you do with family members.
That is true. But that happened after the funeral?
Yes. There are pictures out there.
Wow.
They played Connect 4. Kanye didn't want to talk. Beyonce loves Connect 4, and so does he. They played Connect 4, and it was soothing to have. I don't think they were married at the time when Donda. I don't think they were married.
No, I don't think so.
They were boyfriend and girlfriend. Yeah. So him and Beyonce had this nice moment. So if you were there when my mother dies, why wouldn't you be there when I marry my queen? I get one was not televised. I get it. But still.
I don't know. Like I said, I think that they are very much control of their image and their perception. They try to control as much as possible. And I think either A, maybe it being televised was uncomfortable for them, or maybe B, you want to monetize too. You want to get some of that action.
I will say
there's some money exchanging hands.
When Chloe got married, that was extravagant. It was a lot of celebrities there. Every celebrity was not shown, so they very well could have been. I mean, I get nobody's bigger than the Carters right now. But there are ways around it.
I mean, I always feel like when you do become a celebrity, it is, and I understand once you become used to being a celebrity for a while, you do want to kind of maybe get some of the normalcy that you had prior to being a celebrity. But at the end of the day, the reality is that won't happen. And right. And it's kind of like the dark side or the good side, not meaning good dark side. Negative, but like meaning that, okay, once you decide to do this, you do know that this is gonna change your life forever. Jay-Z and Beyonce have been doing it for so long. It's like, to feel uncomfortable about cameras, I don't understand it. I feel like if anybody should feel uncomfortable, it should be the people that are allowing people to watch their wedding that don't even know them personally. It shouldn't be the people that are just there. Like I said, if you my mans, I'm a support your thing regardless. I mean, as long as you're not having it, it's something ridiculous it was just so ridiculous that I was like, nah, man, I can't.
It's one of those things where it's like, they had a super, super private wedding, and we still have not seen photos of the wedding. Beyonce showed a picture of her dress, not her in it, but like a picture of the dress, and you saw people walking inside. But just because
they made everybody like dump their phones, like they could not bring phones into. And just
wedding. Because that's what you want to do, don't knock the total opposite of what you had.
That would be the total opposite.
Yeah,
that would be like the extreme would be. J and B literally made it where it was like you couldn't have your phone in there.
And T.I. and Tiny tried to do it, but people still bought phones, and T.I. cussed them out and asked them to take it off of Instagram, and it was a lot.
Yeah, they wasn't as, I don't think, Twitter. Jay-Z's going to be a little more thorough. His stuff is going to be like, we're probably going to frisk you.
Obama.
We're probably going to frisk you. We're probably going to have like, they said for Jay's, like they got a gun off of somebody, or somebody came there with a gun. They had to take the gun, and you could go in, but you can't bring this with you. That's Who brings a gun to a wedding? But
that's a lot.
It is extremes, and that I think is the interesting part about their relationship from a person looking on the outside in. Kanye's so different, at least the way it looks. He's such a different person than Jay. Mm-hmm. Even the women that they go after are so different. It's like, but they're different.
Who else in the industry that we know of that Jay has not smashed but was in a relationship with? Like, he
they said Blue Cantrell.
I don't believe that.
You don't believe it?
Smash, but relationship, no.
You think Maya?
Smash, relationship, no.
Okay. Oh, wait a minute. I forgot. You said relationship. You didn't say smashing.
Who was he in a relationship with?
I don't think.
I remember he was supposed to have this what's the word?
Illegitimate child.
Yeah, this little boy that was like seen with him all the time.
I truly believe.
Like got somebody pregnant in Trinidad or some crazy story that was going on in the early 2000s.
I don't think Jay-Z was in it. I don't think Jay-Z in his heyday. Maybe he did have relationships. I remember on the Dynasty album, he was talking about having a stillborn kid and things of that nature. I know there's a song on the Dynasty where he talks about like, don't worry, if it was meant to be, it will be soon. And that can't be life. So he had, I guess, somebody that he had, some kid, something with. But
when you get to be almost 50 and you've only had 2 relationships, I'm trying to figure out what's wrong with you emotionally. Because that means I know he's guarded, father, don't let people get close to you. He said it in his lyrics, but yeah, I worry about that.
Really? Would that be a flag for you?
At 50 and you've only had 2 serious girlfriends and the second was the person you married? Yeah, I'm worried about that.
Well, what about the old days when, a dude met a woman and they were 20, 21 maybe, and they just liked each other and got married and had kids.
But to have experienced 50 years of life and to never have let anybody get close to you but 2 people, I worry. But if you just out the gate 20 and you marry, you know what you want. You in love, boom. Y'all married for 60 years, both of y'all died 90. Okay. But to be 50 and to go through life and everybody else around you is having babies and bat mitzvahs and anniversaries and you like, no, I'm good. Everyone needs to be loved.
Oh.
They do.
The room became warm.
What did Al say? Men die from what babies want, love and affection or something.
I'm mad that you ain't even given enough time to take the joint.
He said it a little bit more poetically than that, but
hot off the oven. She just took it. He just said it not that long ago, and you're already utilizing
but
it. It was
true.
Hot off the oven. Oh, men die for what women.
No, it's babies.
For what babies cry for, and women.
I don't think women was even in the equation.
So okay, it's just for what babies cry for.
Love and affection.
Love and affection.
Thanks for trying to include us, though.
I know. I wanted to keep y'all in.
I appreciate that.
I wanted to keep y'all in. I mean, women love affection. Guys love affection. But I think a guy.
The baby one made it better. Made the quote better.
It made the quote better. Just the baby, because the baby's gonna be like, wah, wah.
I wasn't going that far.
You don't know what it's saying. You're like, oh my gosh, what is it doing?
That's too much. That's way too much.
But maybe he was guarded because, he had stuff to lose. This is not like Sean Carter from the street, regular fella. This is Jay-Z.
In the beginning, though, with Blueprint, he did not have that much to lose.
I think Blueprint, he had a lot to lose. He had money. Maybe not.
His money then does not compare to his money now.
Oh, no. He's on another level now.
Today,
but he was rich.
I just read an interview. Dame Dash just did an interview. Of course, they asked him about Solange and Rachel Roy. And, of course,
I saw that.
Rachel Roy is his ex-wife. And they was asking him, like, do you think Jay-Z was trying to flirt with Rachel? He was like, that'd be fucked up, but it would be funny. Like, what the fuck? But he was basically saying that Jay has to move a certain way because of the corporations that pay him.
Oh, yeah, I heard that. I heard that comment.
So he was like, I wouldn't have reacted that way. He was like, there's a certain way you can jack up a woman and not physically hurt her. And they was like, do you think if he would have reacted more aggressively, it would have messed up his brand? And he was like, I don't think so. He was like, I've had women spit on me before, and I wanted to choke the shit out of them in so many words, but
Dame Dash,
I couldn't.
Man.
He was like, but, I don't think Jay has people in his camp that will clown him for that interview. I mean, for that elevator. He was like, if we were still friends, we'd joke the shit out of him. Like, yo, you got your ass beat in that elevator. He was like, but I think people that are friends with him now will laugh behind his back but won't laugh in his face. And he was like, if he was a real man, he would just laugh it off and not be embarrassed because family shit happens.
What are your thoughts on that?
It seems like Dame is saying Jay has a bunch of yes men around him. That's what it sounds like. And that would be unfortunate.
I hope not. I think...
Because, people that surround him have been there.
Well, Ty that's his man since before.
Elementary school.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Emory.
I don't know. Yeah, and Emory, I don't know if I say yes. But I think...
He's feeding you so you don't want... I don't know. He was like... Jay's a jokester, or at least he used to be. So he was like, he basically alluding like he used to have a good sense of humor about these things, but I don't know. He might have a lot on his shoulders now, so he might not think it was funny.
I think Jay, and we've had many conversations about the Jay-Z thing, and I always say he's quite an interesting guy as far as like reading what his thing, what his whole thing is about. But I do think Dame did shed some light, on that. Like, because I've always been a fan of how he's able to move. So, like he was talking, like he moves in a way that you really don't know what, you don't know what he's doing. You know what I mean? Like, had that video never came out, no one had any inkling that there was ever an argument or issue that happened. And imagine if someone doesn't film that video, you would never know that even happened. And the way he carried it coming out of the joint with his shirt all messed up, no one even noticed that until you look at the tape and then look at them leaving, and it's like, damn, his shirt is coming out of his joint.
Well, the fact that he didn't know, it would be a difference if he knew he was being recorded. I mean, you know that most hotels, the elevators are recorded.
True.
But I don't know if they are that media trained to be like, wait, if I fuck this bitch up, this is being recorded. It might get leaked. I think he can't hit her. No, he can't hit her. But what I'm saying is the fact that he acted that way and he didn't know that the tape was anybody was gonna see this.
That's him.
That speaks a lot.
That's him. That's Jay.
Right.
I don't think Jay is... I think what made Dame and Jay and Rockefeller at a time great is because...
The yin and the yang.
Yeah, they are really different people. And I think that's also what made them kind of break apart, because they say like-minded individuals tend to hang around each other. They say most of the time you hang around people that you have similar vibes, similar interests, similar things. When you listen to Dame talk, even back in the backstage days, like in that movie days,
he was always a wild guy.
Yo, Dame yelled at people, and I mean,
he was the Diddy of the 90s.
I saw an interview when what was it called? Damn, who said that? That's how they used to operate back in the day. Like, dudes used to scream on dudes. All of them, Diddy, like Verve, all of them used to scream on each other. You know what I mean? Famous. Like they used to like curse each other out. But he's like, now that type of business doesn't work anymore.
People
because,
are sensitive.
Yeah, people will get offended and they'll be like, no, and I'm not dealing with you like acting that way.
People swallowed a lot of ego because they saw the bigger picture and knew what was at stake. They would take a lot of disrespect just to stay on the team. Today, fuck you.
What happened to Kev? I'm gonna tell you like this, you know, and I've met Kevin on several times.
Kevin Lyles,
and I respect the hell out of the dude.
Amazing.
He reps for Baltimore. He has
Woodlawn.
Woodlawn, and he has his own business. He manages Trey Songz.
A great
Nelly.
book.
I think he does Young Jeezy too.
Somebody was on the Breakfast Club the other day, and they was like, "Are you still managed by Kevin Lyles?" And they was like, "Yeah." I didn't even know this person was managed by him. Anyway, I forget.
Yeah, he does a lot. But
was it Tiana Taylor?
He got her too.
It was somebody. I'll have to figure it out.
But the things that I remember when we were in my homeboy's basement watching backstage, the things that he said to him, and I was at Morgan went to XM Radio. And he was there, and I think somebody asked him something along those lines about something like that. I don't quote me, but at some point I've seen him answer something about that. And he was like, I looked at it like, I'm a man, like still, and I don't like, I'm never gonna be ignorant or crazy because someone else is ignorant or crazy. Like I let them do what they did, and I still kept who I was. And as you can see, I'm still good, like nothing. I never fell, nothing ever, because my intentions were good, and I was good, and I just good energy, I guess. You know what I'm saying? But still, man law will not allow me to let another man talk to me like that while he's getting his hair cut with his kid in his lap. No,
I can't imagine. No,
we fighting,
and these guys are supposed to be from the street, and they sat there and they took it.
We're fighting. No, you human just like me. And I'm like,
But that's that whole, that power and king and you're my superior, you're my inferior.
The only thing I'll give Dame on that, the only thing I'll give him now that I'm older and looking at it from and understanding maybe what they were doing more business-wise, because in other interviews he's explained sort of his business, the way he goes about business. He would get mad at Def Jam because they weren't putting up. The money really is not. They're a public company. So the money's not. They put their money in the Rockefeller. So whatever money that they had together is Rockefeller or whatever they own the Rockefeller. Def Jam is owned by Universal. So some of the decisions that they will argue over, he felt like they weren't really, the people he's talking to are not his partners because they don't have control over whether they have the money or not. But Rockefeller, it's their company. It's their money. Right. They can decide to do whatever they want to do. So when they're meeting with these people, he was like, he would get frustrated because they're talking to somebody. They're talking to you as if it's almost like we were discussing a deal and you're coming to me as we're both bosses. But technically, everything that we say
has to go through somebody else.
Yeah. So after we do this, it doesn't matter if we came to some agreement. You still got to go to whoever your people are, Universal, and talk to them and say, hey.
So you really have no power.
You really don't have no power. So they would have issues with whatever. But see, where I disagree is there's a way to go about it. Yes, Kevin Lyles gave y'all leather jackets with Def Jam on it. Yes, the perception of this tour, if you saw people running around with Def Jam jackets, as crazy as it sounds, but it's true. If it's a Rockefeller Rough Rider tour, you would want Rockefeller Rough Rider jackets because that's what the tour is. If Def Jam, I don't know if they put money into it, whatever. If they're branding it as it's their tour, then why give them Def Jam jackets? It is kind of shady because it never said nothing about Def Jam. It was like, this is the Rockefeller Rough Rider tour. It's just them. Why are you giving them Def Jam jackets that just have Def Jam, don't have no Rockefeller on it?
But if they're paying you, rock the fuck out of that jacket.
It didn't have to go that far.
And put your ego.
Would I say it? I would say it if I felt that way about it. Like if I was really about branding and stuff like that, I would take Kev aside and be like, look, so I understand, I respect, thank you, and I respect that you came with these. But I'm not gonna let my people wear these because I'm trying to do something with the branding that doesn't go along with this, and you can respect that. Right. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it would. He was like, you too smart to make these dumbass decisions. I'm like, what are you doing?
And Kevin is older.
What are you doing?
Kevin is older than Dame.
He was like, so what's the perception if everybody looked at these leather jackets and saw Def Jam? What would they say? And Kev did say it would be a Def Jam tour. Exactly. He really did argue his case. But the way it's all about how you do stuff. It was just the craziest thing.
It's about delivery.
Yeah, you don't gotta do that to that dude. Kev's a nice guy. Don't do that. And Jay's not like that. Jay probably would have a problem with you, and you know how he probably deal with it? He would just never talk to you no more. Or he would just like have a discussion that was brief, that kind of gave how he felt, but he would want you to feel the vibe like, this is really how you feel. So maybe you're getting the tip of how he feel, but you can feel that he feels like all the way.
You ever had two people come at you with the same issue? You're going to listen to the person who's talking like I am right now.
Yeah.
You're not going to talk to the person who is veins popping out of their head.
Throwing chairs.
Yelling at people. You get no respect when you raise your voice at me. As soon as you go up an octave, I have already clocked up.
So we know how Chanel handles arguments. Chanel, I saw you at the party. I saw you there. Blah, 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 blah.
I see your mouth moving. But I ain't even here. Because that is not respect. And if it ain't respect, I'm not here. I'm not here for it.
You say you check it out on that one.
No.
Yeah. I feel you. I respect how Jay moved on that. But I do agree that your friends should be able to joke you. I mean, not joke you till you feel bad, but they should be able to rib you about things that's funny. And you rib them about things that's funny.
If Jay-Z saw another celebrity in an elevator and the way Solange was beating his ass, I guarantee you he would laugh. The way I reacted when I saw that Randallstown beat down, that's how I reacted when I saw Solange. I was like, oh, shit.
Yo. That one dude that Randallstown, boy, he wasn't even looking. He was just throwing hands. He was just doing, it was just haymaking, Yeah, you gotta be able to laugh at certain things, and I don't think Jay was laughing about that. I think
one of those things, it was probably like, once it blew over, they probably both was like, "Shit, babe, it was gonna happen sooner or later. We're gonna be married forever. Something's gonna happen sooner or later. I'd rather it be this, than that was minor compared to, something else."
It wouldn't have been taken that bad had they not created the perception that they don't do anything wrong. They never have ever. Well, they're perfect.
Had this been, how long has Instagram been out? Not that long.
3, 4 years.
Yeah. So Jay-Z and Beyonce have been married for what? 4 years.
Maybe 4 or 5.
Right. Had this been pre-Instagram, they would have been good.
Yeah.
Because you would have only been able to see it. There would have been no memes. Because that's really what took it to the top.
Oh, man. The memes were crazy.
If it was just like Entertainment Tonight, Access Hollywood type situation, then they would have been good. But today, it's still like, it's not big today.
Nah, not at all. I don't know. And I think it helped him in the overall.
After that, they put out On the Run promo video. Mm-hmm. That little movie or whatever.
Oh, man. That joint looks so dope.
And they added 2 California show dates. And they're probably going to add more. They ain't got no worries.
No. The paper's still coming in.
And then for Mother's Day, they all were in New Orleans and took a family photo.
Oh, they did?
With the Carters, Solange and her boyfriend, Jules, Solange's son, and Tina Knowles.
But they
ain't got no worries.
But it's so funny how they're taking the picture and putting it out there so that people know that it's not like that. But I don't know. They move in such a way. I can't explain. It's just the way they move. like we're taking a picture that could just stay private. But we're going to put that out there so that people know.
What's the difference between how the Carters move and how Oprah moves?
Oprah's a little mysterious.
Oprah's on Twitter. Oprah's on Instagram. But when you are in control, Oprah puts shit out with her and Stedman. You see Stedman on her Instagram all the time.
Oh, I'm following her.
There was a time where Oprah was like, "Don't ask me shit about Stedman. He's my man. We're not getting married. We're not having kids. Don't fucking ask me anything." Now, Oprah, her and Stedman be laid up on the couch. She'd be like, "Me and Stedman and Napa." Like,
I'm not connected on her Instagram. I gotta check that out.
Yeah, so I mean,
go ahead, Oprah.
As long as I'm hitting the button for it to go out in the universe, it's okay.
Yeah. Then when somebody else is hitting the button, you're like, whoa now. Whoa.
Just like when Oprah found out she had a sister. Her sister contacted her, and Oprah put her sister on her show. She said, "I'm gonna beat you niggas to the punch. I'm gonna put this out here before there's a big media story about my sister."
Does she look like her?
No.
Is it really her sister?
Her mother gave the sister up for adoption.
Oh, damn.
And they had a whole show about it. And then, you know, from time to time, Oprah will say how they're still doing. They're still going to Thanksgiving and Christmas dinners, and she's a part of her nieces and nephews' lives. So, I mean, it makes a difference when you are in control of the information that we receive.
Do you feel like you can always be in control of that? Or do you think it's hard to really keep a vice grip? Because even as clean, like the Carters are pretty,
I think
they're
hard,
pretty clean with
possible.
it. I mean, they have a pretty nice vice grip.
It's hard, but it's possible. It's a lot of paperwork being signed, disclaimers being signed, for sure.
Because even Beyonce, I mean, she's opened up a lot on her Tumblr and Instagram. Like she used to be.
But again, people have to fall in love with your personality in order for you to be successful. Yeah, your talent takes you so far, but when we were, Beyonce likes Pizza Hut too. Oh, she's just like us. Yeah. Oh, she likes to jump off boats. Oh, she can swim like me. Mm-hmm. People fall in love with you when they can relate to you.
Do you think Beyonce fell off for a second? Like, do you think like around that 4-ish area now?
I don't think she's ever fallen off.
But I'm just saying, like, in the sense, because I'm sure it went platinum, but
every album has gone platinum.
I feel like there was a disconnect somewhere within the thing. Or maybe not disconnect exactly, but maybe like I felt like there was an area where people, fans feel like they know her, but they don't really know her, but they feel like they know her, and now they're kind of knowing her for real.
I don't want to say this because the Beehive will zap me.
Oh yeah, we love you, Beehive. Don't do it.
But I am one of you. But I think that do not quote me. I think that 4 might have been her lowest selling album, although it did ridiculous numbers. Yeah. For her, I think 4 was her lowest, although it still beat everybody. Yeah. Kind of like Michael Jackson. Yeah. Like, this album didn't do well, but it still did quadruple platinum. Exactly. It still beat the rest of the world, but if we're competing against ourselves in past albums, I think 4 might have been the lowest. Don't quote me, but I think so.
I mean, I felt around that time, and she's still winning. Because I don't think her fans, not discrediting her fans, y'all the truth.
Thank you.
But I don't think her fans, all of them, know Beyonce. I think they know her more now through Instagrams and Tumblrs and things like that. But prior to the Tumblrs and the Instagrams and things like that, I think, or even this last album, I think people think or thought they knew. And I still think there's a mystique about Beyonce that is good that she keeps, but I do think there is a level of secrecy. Like like they take you to the window, like you're looking and you're like, I think I know.
Even though Rihanna decided to get off of Instagram.
She's not on Instagram anymore?
Remember?
Oh yeah, you said they kicked her off, right?
But she came out and said that she took a break from it. I think it might have been her people being like, you need to scale back. But even with that being said, I still see pictures of Rihanna daily, like I did as if she was posting it. There's a Instagram account called Rihanna Daily, who Instagrams. There's like a fan club. So I see her daily, just not by Bad Girl Riri. But anyway, even though Rihanna
Bad Girl
was a compulsive poster,
like a Meek Mill level poster.
I don't follow Meek, but
yeah, he posts like something every hour.
You don't know anybody. It's a facade. This is what I'm forcing you to believe, even with regular people.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Like, how many
if
people
all
do you think
post
is really
is working out, going to the gym,
we in the club
on Friday, we party. This is the routine that you give us. We don't see when you're home crying yourself to sleep, depressed, when you're visiting grandma, taking your mom to the cleaners. We don't see this nice guy image, but you want us to think that you out here fucking bitches every night. When you probably work at the post office, shop at Giant. You know, you just turn up on the weekends. You show us what you want us to see. So you are the editor. Say Instagram is your book, your magazine. You're the editor of that. So I don't think we know any of these stars.
Do you think that when you're trying to build a base of people to follow you, or if you're an artist and you're trying to build people to really get onto your campaign, do you think it's more? Do you think that the artist that really is the most vulnerable is the one that connects, or do you think you do need to kind of brand it, have a particular strategy to what you're doing? Like, you're showing what you want to show because you're trying to connect it to.
But look at this. We don't know shit about Mariah Carey. Y'all, it's so funny how people get so fixated on the Carters. We don't know anything about Mariah Carey.
No.
And I've had this debate. Mariah has been out 90, 91, 92. I don't know who Mariah is.
Yeah,
and that's probably why I've never been a fan, because there is a disconnect. I don't know who Mariah Carey is. She has always seemed like a plastered version of herself. She seems fake. Every interview I've seen her entire career, she always seems like glossy, glazed over, like she's had way too many mimosas, and she's, oh, darling, no. This whole, what the fuck?
So you don't feel like that's the real?
No, she's ratchet as fuck.
Yeah, she is kind of. I was very surprised. Even the Breakfast Club one, I was kind of surprised. Everybody, and you know what? That's something that people said. Like, that was something people said. Like, yo, she's kind of hood.
Them So Def, the Brat, Escape days. Everybody's always, before Ratchet was Ratchet, I knew Mariah was ghetto, but she always dispelled those rumors. Oh, darling, who said that? Show me who said that. Bitch, no. This is the way I'm talking now. Is how she, Jermaine, bring your fucking ass.
Yeah,
that's probably how she talks to Nick and them babies. Like, she is so, I can't deal with Mariah Carey.
She really do keep it like everybody. People had said that for the longest time, but
I think Nick is authentic, but Mariah is the 360 when she's at her 7 houses with her 20 dogs.
So you think it's just not, she's not being vulnerable, not kidding.
In the vocal booth, sure.
Yeah.
When she steps out, no.
On purpose, or you just think?
I think Tommy Mottola had a lot to do with it.
Yeah, he did start off that. I think
he damaged her early on, and she.
Yeah, because they definitely, the image around Music Box and all that, the image was just. I mean, I didn't even know she was black for the longest time. I mean, it took a long time.
I've always called her black.
Mariah Carey's
mixed
black. Because, I mean, the way she looks, when you see those early videos, you would have thought she was a white woman.
But, I mean,
like, okay.
Think about it. I don't know anything about Madonna's parents. I don't know if Madonna has siblings. Mariah Carey, I know her mom is white, her father's black. Mm-hmm. She has siblings, but we know nothing about them. Mm-hmm. She's not close to any of her family members.
Didn't know that.
Nick is her family.
Wow.
She's always been estranged from her mom. So, like, I can't relate. I don't know. Like, I can't relate to Mariah.
And that makes you hard to get into her music?
I can't. Tina Turner, I can, yeah. I don't know about getting my ass whipped.
Oh, but I stepped back from the mic. I said, damn.
I know her life story.
Damn.
So I can sympathize and be like, I feel like I know her.
No nigga better be telling you no. You better not die, Chanel.
Right.
You better not die.
Die and I kill you. Yeah, so I mean, I just think when you know a little background history on somebody, it makes liking them and their music. And that's why you understand. Like, for example, Jasmine Sullivan has been guarded. Mm-hmm. This CD that's coming out called Reality Show comes out sometime this year. This will be her third CD, I believe.
Same label or new?
Not
situation?
Sure. I don't know if she's on J Records anymore. For some reason, I don't think so. Yeah, but I'm not sure. But she's doing these vlogs, video blogs, leading up until, like, showing you behind the scenes and studio and talking about stuff. And I didn't know any of this. And now I have a greater appreciation for her. She said she grew up, right, we're probably like 3 hours in. She said she grew up in a mansion that was directly across the street from the projects. She said her parents were very strict. She said she could not go out and play. She couldn't date. She couldn't do anything. She said she always used her imagination because her parents didn't want her to be out in these streets. So she said that's how she did all church events. She sang here and there. She said, she was able to write songs because that's how she filled up her time. So she said, yeah, I grew up in the hood, but I didn't really grow up in the hood. So now when I listen to her music, I'm like, certain things make sense. Where I'm like, okay, you were sheltered your whole life. Okay. Maybe this is why you stepped back from the industry. When it wasn't fun anymore and you got all this criticism, you were like, wait, I don't need that. Like, so when you feel like you can understand a person, an artist as a human, to me, I think that makes them a better musician.
It makes you more easier to connect.
You need a level of transparency.
A level. Not full transparency.
Not full, no. Because we didn't know Michael.
No.
We didn't know Whitney.
We don't want to see you taking the doo-doo.
We don't know Prince.
We really don't know Prince. But his stories are legendary, though.
Stories are legendary.
His stories are legendary. The Kim Basinger story, I'm still out. When I meet him.
What's that story?
When I meet Prince, I will ask him if the story is true. From what I heard, they said Kim went to his house for.
This in the 90s?
Yeah.
Clearly.
So, yeah, she went to his house and stayed for a month or 2 or 3, and her family was like looking for her or whatever. Yeah, something like she went to his mansion and stayed for like
I would ask my friend
2 or 3 months or something like that. And so when she was done, she was about to do a movie with him and all types of stuff. So it was crazy. Like, they said something about Prince had a way about him.
Kind of like Erykah Badu.
Yeah, the way they said her vagina is made out of gold.
Or her eyes.
Or eyes. I saw a tweet where they said drink cranberry juice or something. Some juice that she said drink and now the secret is out. Maybe I shouldn't have told you guys.
What would cranberry juice do?
I don't know. It was some type of juice that she said drink, and it was making a joke about, everybody always say that it must be something about her, yada mean, yada may. Mm-hmm. She was like, yeah, drink this whatever juice or whatever, like maybe it's like pineapple juice or something like that. Yeah. Drink this. Now the secret's out. I'm sorry. Maybe I shouldn't have told that secret. I don't know if it was real, but when I read it, I was like,
I just think some people are born with a natural hypnotizing ways.
So you do think like some people Like a woman could be like somehow, you're chilling, and then you're naked, and then you're like, how did I get naked? How did this happen?
I think that people can be drugs for other people. I definitely know that to be true.
So somehow, like, this person is a heroine.
Absolutely.
And you're taking it in your veins, like this person's a drug, and you're getting high off of them, and you're like, why? Wait a minute. Damn it! I wasn't thinking straight.
You had 7 of their babies.
Yeah. The
no
force.
Ring.
The
no
force.
Ring, but you've had
it's
7.
got a lot of power.
I believe it.
I think Erica would do it.
People are more powerful than they will ever know.
You dropped something. That was kind of heavy.
No, listen to this. Dr. Oz was on the. We're gonna end this because clearly we've been talking for 7 hours.
Yeah, you know how we do.
Dr. Oz was on the Breakfast Club, and I don't know how recent this interview is, but it was very profound. He said that he never smoked weed because people can get high by meditating. Like, you can go to a higher level of consciousness just by meditating, because he's been there. He said there are people in ancient times, or I don't know, different cultures, who have been in like sub-0 degree weather. And because they meditated and went to a different level of consciousness, a higher level of consciousness, they were sweating. Where most people would get frostbitten or die, their mental took them to such a place where they were like to a warmer climate where they were sweating in sub-0 degree weather.
Do you believe it?
I do believe that. I do believe the mind is very powerful. Like, I believe in meditation. I really do.
You meditate?
I have before.
I have too, but it's hard for me to do it consistently.
It's hard for me to do it consistently, and because I'm always thinking, and it's hard for me to just
my thoughts. It's hard for me to slow down.
Everything. It's hard.
Music helps.
Yes.
Music helps. The music that they say you should listen to while you're meditating.
When I do yoga, it's the most relaxing.
I gotta do that. I gotta do yoga.
When I do yoga, that's the most relaxing times of my life.
It sets it off.
Literally.
It puts you in that right place.
Every time I do yoga. And I don't do it often. I've probably done it like 6 times in my whole life. But I would love to do yoga every day. I probably would have a better outlook on life.
I think I would too. Because
when I'm done, I've only been high like once. But when I'm done, I just feel so refreshed. Like, I feel like everything just feels radiant. So if I was a morning person, if I could do that every day I would go to work like, "Good morning, Sarah." Like, I would sing down the cube.
You would sing and prance.
And that would be better for my happiness.
I need that too.
So the lesson of this podcast, everybody go try yoga or some form of meditation.
And have sex.
That as well. I do believe that is a stress killer, reliever.
I do.
If more people had sex, safe sex, the world would be a better place. I think a lot of people who are out here acting monkey fools are not getting laid. You know what? I said we were going to cut this short.
Are you going to talk about it? Are you going to talk about that?
No, I'm going to talk. I'm going to talk about the Santa Monica.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Rampage.
That's what I was talking about.
I was up last night, turned to CNN, and was not prepared. Not prepared. When I have children, I am afraid. He shot his 3 roommates. He shot 6 people and injured 13. Yes. Dum-dums.
This man came in with Dum-Dum original pop.
Are you still working?
Yeah. Y'all keep doing your podcast. He in the yo.
Okay.
He in the yo.
You got a question?
No.
Well, the question was, is there ever a time that you shouldn't use a condom?
See, let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. I'm a married man.
Oh, shit.
And up until recently, I was still using condoms.
I was not ready.
So, unless you're trying to make a baby, that's the only reason. And even then,
I don't like his advice.
You still need to wear a condom. Even when you...
Wait a minute. Whoa. Even when Whoa. And that was the end of our podcast. I'd like to thank everybody.
Am I hearing that?
Yeah.
Chanel, can I ask you a question? Are you not down with the condom? Is that what you're saying?
I said I didn't like your response. Shit, we're not talking about me.
Oh.
That's not where...
Well, let me ask you,
that's what we won't do today.
When is there a time when you can... When is there a time?
Boys and girls, if you are listening, I hope you're older than 18 and you can afford to buy contraceptive or not. Now, listen.
Well, no. What if a guy gets a test? He has nothing wrong, and can he get down with you? Is that okay?
I want us to all
and I'm out.
Act like mature adults at this table and to know that everyone at this table has... You guys are guys, so everyone has done a pull-out method, and I, as a woman, have been involved in the situation. If you are in a monogamous relationship and both of you have been tested, that is one reason that it has been okay. I'm not saying that you should. I'm just speaking.
Wait a minute. Let me ask you a question. Are people really getting tested?
I see papers.
You've seen papers?
I've seen papers, and you should too.
Have you, Nikki? Let me ask you: have you ever been required to show papers?
I have not been required. No, but I've done it on my own because I wanted to make sure I wasn't burning. I'm just saying. I mean, every year I get tested. I mean, regardless.
Every 6 months or every 12 months.
Yeah, I mean, at least once a year I'm getting tested because, and I implore you too, because even though I'm in a relationship, I mean, I want to know my status.
You never know.
I want to know my status.
It can be lying dormant.
I have seen too many movies. Things happen. People do things. I need to know where I stand at all times.
We should be trusting our mates to tell us the truth. But I think it would be a lot easier and comforting if you go together and take the test. There are lots of places, if you would like to Google, where you can go to local clinics, or you could just Google, and you can go as if you were going on a date and go to the clinic. That way you both get your results back at the same time. You do a little swap-a-roo. Oh, baby, look at mine. If you know.
Can't wait to have raw sex.
Hello. Now they have Quick.
You're right. Now
where they can swab your mouth and you get results in 20 seconds.
You can just grab
20
the
minutes,
box.
I'm sorry. The box is $40, but $40 is worth it when you're talking about your life and your health.
Back in the day, you really used to have to go to the clinic, and sit down, and
you would have to wait and have anxiety. Although you knew you didn't have a disease, the anxiety every time still gets me.
Oh my gosh, I hate
even though I know I'm clean.
Even though I know I'm, thank you, Jesus. But back to the thing with the guy killing people over his virginity.
Back to the rampage. Here's another case. I want to ask you all, including Mickey, is it ironic that we are constantly hearing that all of these people have mental health issues? Could they just be crazy? Is it possible that some people are just fucking crazy?
Yes.
Do you always have to be diagnosed? It is possible that one day you can just snap. But in all of these Columbine cases, mental health. Family tried to alert the police. But for whatever reason, from what I saw, and I was only watching this for like 30 minutes before it got on my nerves, and I was like, I'm done watching the footage of people crawling around. People were running like for their lives at a restaurant because he went in and started shooting. Nobody got hurt. He ran over so many bicyclists. Somebody went through the windshield. He crashed. He had a shootout with a deputy. I mean, it was a lot.
Jeez,
but he was warned prior to, like, I think recently he was warned by a family member, like, he needs help or something, and for whatever reason, it wasn't taken seriously.
I heard that. I mean, I think people are crazy. I think you will always have crazy people. I think the difference is because of technology and how much we know everything that's happening at all times. I think now you know these stories, and now you hear the stories pretty quickly when crazy people just go crazy. I do think he should have taken some of his money, some of his lunch money, and went and got him a prostitute if it really was that serious, you know. I mean, if you're just trying to get your rocks off so nobody was, I guess, teasing you for being a virgin, then go and have sex with a prostitute. Now, we just got finished talking about protection. In no way, shape, or form should you ever, even if you went with the prostitute with papers, should you ever go into a prostitute raw? Just think it's a bad idea. I don't know. Her, she makes money off of, I'm not judging you, but it's just,
we are judging you.
Well, she's judging you.
I
mean, it's hard out here, but but don't go in there with no condom, please. You will come back with a blowtorch. It's not a good thing. I've never, and I pray that I never. So don't be like me. Don't have that on your record. And so I think he should have did that. If he felt that, if you feel that that's such an important thing, but don't kill people over being a virgin. I just think that's that's psycho in itself. I mean, who kills somebody because they can't get anybody to want to be with them? And listen, let's be clear. You can get somebody. They might not be exactly what you want. Let me tell you something. This guy could have got somebody.
I left my umbrella in the car, and I knew I shouldn't.
Is that the sound of rain?
That is very, very, that's a lot of rain.
Jeez Louise. I left my window there. No, I'm joking. Okay. But, Noah's Ark is happening outside. But, yeah, I'm not going to, I put it like this. I wasn't in this position. But if I was in a position in which I could not get anybody to want to have relations with me.
How do we know this to be true? That he was a virgin, and that was the reason he went crazy and started just running over everybody?
Well, these are alleged.
Okay.
These are alleged. So let me, I guess, my partner, you know what? She is right. These are alleged. Allegedly, a story was that it was over, obviously him having psychological issues. But one of those issues was that, allegedly he was a virgin and he felt a way that he couldn't get a woman to have sex with him. And I just feel like it should never drive you to want to murder people. I just think that even if you are the most you ain't got no juice whatsoever, you can't get a woman to even look your way. There is some girl that will give it to you somewhere. I think guys need to know, hey, man, you don't need to press. You don't need to feel stress. Be easy, be yourself. And if you're a little quirky, a little weird, guess what? There's a girl that's quirky and weird, and she's waiting for you. And she will let you have sesh.
Yeah. I just think it's always unfortunate that innocent people have to die because you're crazy and you didn't take your meds.
And if you really feel, that horny, why didn't you just jerk off? And then people wouldn't have died, hopefully.
He was knocking on somebody's door. They went to the door, heard he was acting frantic, crazy. They didn't let him in. He decided to shoot 3 people that were outside on the lawn.
I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. And
This is again.
Uh-oh.
I just need to do a little bit of preaching.
Right hand, lollipop, left hand.
Tomorrow. Hell, tonight is not promised. Driving home from here, your life is not promised. I don't want to sound like I'm at church. Give your life over to Christ. Mm-hmm. You should do that as well if you believe in Jesus. I'm not going to go there with you. But what I'm saying is...
Really?
You don't know.
Hashtag fix it, Jesus.
All of these people who are in college, you have roommates. Even if you're not in college, you have a roommate. Going to work. You don't know what your coworker is dealing with. You don't know if she has a deranged Ike Turner husband in the house that has been stalking her and she's been trying to get away from him and he followed her ass to work and somehow he got in the building without the badge and shoots everyone trying to find you. You don't know. You don't know when you go to the gas station if you're going to get robbed. You don't know. You don't know if you get on a roller coaster at Six Flags this summer that maybe your seat's not tight. Maybe your ass would come flying out of the roller coaster seat.
That's why I don't get on them.
You don't know. You don't know. Mm-hmm. So live your life as if today is your last.
Power.
If there is somebody, wow, somebody's playing an organ. Somebody's playing an organ. Get right with Christ. Oh shit! Sorry,
she got so into it. She knocked the mic off.
The thing is, don't walk around with regrets, and don't have ill malice towards people.
Tell them
if you need to apologize to somebody, do so. If something's on your heart. Say it now. Because what if you die today? You won't know because you're dead. But I'm just saying. Appreciate people now. You didn't tell your mother you loved her. Ever. Let your family members and people know how you feel about them until it's too late. Because this is what happens. People die. Right? Then people get on Facebook like, oh, I lost the love of my life. I'm not being insensitive. But what I'm saying is people write books on social media about how much this and that person meant to them. And most of the time, that person did not even know how much they were loved while they were on earth. So there are 6 people that have died from this foolishness. And there are unsaid words. Mama might have fussed at them the night before because they didn't put out the trash. And little Sarah or whoever is gone.
That's true.
So I'm saying, man, mental health is serious.
It's serious.
It is serious. And if you have insurance, you should get that checked out. And even if you don't, I'm sure there are a lot of grant programs. There are a lot of free resources out there. If only you just Google it. So get that checked out.
Get that checked out, man. And if you're going through some things. I listen to a lot of motivational stuff before I start my day because I work a job that I don't like. You've heard this before. So it's nothing new. But I always, Les Brown, YouTube him. He's a great motivational speaker. Shouts out to Les Brown. He always talks about life is ups and downs for everybody. Everybody. No one is going through life in a straight line.
Nobody. Not even Oprah.
Not even Oprah. Guess what? Oprah has problems too. Oprah may go through a time when the business isn't going the way she wanted to. When OWN wasn't working. OWN was losing money initially. That could have been a dark time. You don't know, maybe Oprah does long for a kid and she doesn't talk about it. Maybe she can't have a kid. You never know. Or maybe there are things that she has missed in life because of her career, because of, the lifestyle
Listen
that she
lives. This. Oprah was molested multiple times in her childhood.
There.
She has written books about it, been very vocal about it. Gabrielle Union, molested.
Oh, yeah.
So many people have come out. Tyler Perry, moguls. Do you hear this? People go through things. Nobody is exempt.
Nobody.
Doesn't matter how much money you have.
Can't take it with you. Can't. So, I think people get these, and it's sad because Facebooks and Instagrams and Twitterings, in these things, Vines or whatever, these things make you believe something that isn't exactly true. Jay-Z has problems. Guess what? He has problems just like anybody else. He goes through things just like anybody else. It shouldn't be a surprise that, hey, maybe his family has, just like family members go through things, he went through a thing. It shouldn't be a surprise. And I think people feel like, man, if I get this money, how my life would be better. Or, if I had this, or if I had this car, if I had this house, or I had this. The bottom line is everybody goes through things. And I think sometimes people go through things, and then when these things happen to them, they break down because they feel like, man, I'm going through the worst ever. This is such a bad season. And it's like, damn, but you have to understand that you're not the only person, and no one is exempt. And the quote, not directly quote, but basically what Les was saying was, life is ups and downs, and at the end of the day, it's all about the way that you perceive and the way that you decide to react and respond to what is happening to you. When things are happening to you, the way you respond, it's 50 what is happening and 50 on the way you respond. How you respond to bad things. Do you take it and say, you know what, I'm going to take this negative and turn it into a positive. I'm going to positively move forward. I'm going to not let these things that are bothering me stop me from getting to my goals, dreams, aspirations, things of that nature. So I think, some of the mental health thing, I think, is people being born with issues, yes, and psychologically, chemically, maybe in the brain. Obviously, there are people that need help just off the rip. They were just born in the world with problems. I think some people that are going through their psychological problems are people that are not looking at life from a total 360. Like understanding that, okay, just because you don't lose your virginity when everybody else loses it, that's not the end of the world. Guess what? If you live for long enough, that shouldn't be important to you. But if it is, all these things will work itself out. The time when it's supposed to happen, it will happen. The time when you're supposed to be successful, it will happen. Obviously, you need to work for it. But just don't let life get you down, man. I think a lot of people, they get depressed, and they start doing things. I've been hearing a lot of people committing suicide and things of that nature, and even this crazy situation with him killing people. Maybe some of it was chemical, but I think even if it was or was not, the bottom line is everybody goes through their things, and I just think the way that you go about it, if you find yourself going through some things and you feel like you need some help, go and get help ASAP. And don't feel bad about it. And hell, it ain't none of nobody's business. Your psychologist or therapist will not tell anybody about what y'all talked about. So you ain't got to tell nobody. HIPAA. There you go. You can sue the fuck out of him if you wanted to. So, and I think that's something, not to segue from everybody, but I do think in the African American community,
taboo,
we are very big on, as soon as someone sees somebody, that they're crazy.
Men especially.
Definitely men especially, because men are taught since kids, to everything that happens to them, you just got to take it. You just got to be a G about it.
And that is not healthy to keep anything in. Keep certain things to yourself, yes, but demons, no. Mm-hmm. Things that you can't shake. There are a lot of people with anger management problems.
Yeah.
Who people just accept. Oh, that's just Damon.
Yeah.
That's just how he's been since a kid. Well, maybe it should have been nipped in the bud as a child.
Yeah.
Because he's still acting out as an adult.
Exactly.
And it's only going to get worse because the whole family accepted his crazy ass ways. So
I agree with that. We as black people, the black community, we got to stop looking at it as, he's crazy or, he's a weirdo. No. People get help more than you know. People are out here. These therapists are still making money, and they're out here. So somebody's going to them.
Getting paid.
Be clear. Let's be clear. It's only crazy people. Well, how are these people making all this money, man? That's a lot of people going to these people, and often or not, but definitely they're getting business.
I believe in therapy. If there's ever a time in my life, if I feel like I can't resolve it through my relationship with Jesus, my friends and family, I am most definitely going. Because the longer you sit in that, the worse it becomes. It's like your insides are rotting away. That doesn't make sense. And how can you operate and be a mother, a wife, a friend, a sister, an aunt, a co-worker, living in misery? It's like living a lie every day. So I recommend anybody out there. I noticed this we are preaching, okay?
Yeah, we're doing
we are giving you.
We got the man in the organ in the corner.
It's raining. I want to give y'all my favorite midnight voice, but I'm not.
She was about to turn it on for you.
I'm about to give you my Love Jones.
She was about to turn it on for you.
But if you didn't walk away with anything from this podcast today, know that we love Jesus.
We love Jesus.
Should. If you have emotional issues or whatever, if something's bothering you and you don't feel safe taking it to family or friends, or even just somebody you respect. It could be a teacher, a neighbor, whoever. If you don't feel comfortable enough and you rather seek a stranger, because sometimes talking to a stranger is better because they're unbiased.
It is. Objective
don't
views.
Use, I don't have money, I can't afford it as an excuse. Because like I said, there are a lot of free resources. And Google is your best friend. We all have smartphones. So if you don't have a computer, that is also not an excuse. You can go to the free library.
Yep. They still have those.
Yeah. I just renewed my library card. Excited. Yeah. So we won't hold you up any longer. But you guys be safe.
Wait a minute. Quick question.
Yes.
Since it is raining, what is the... Doesn't have to be like a Jodeci type jam.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
But the rain is going on. Somebody somewhere is hearing all this talk about this. He's like, man, I'm not unhappy. I'm in rain mode. What's a jam? It could be R&B, whatever, or slow jam, or love jam. What's the jam that you put on when it's raining hard?
I got one. Stay by Jodeci. I heard that today. That jam had me in the mood at my desk.
Yo,
had the headphones in, slow grinding, get my chair pregnant.
I'm playing that on my way home. Oh my gosh, and the video is so dope. Like the video is so 80s looking. I mean, it was in the 90s, but it was just so old.
I'll give you anything Jodeci.
Oh my god.
A little bit of Shy. I even give you a little SWV. If you really want to set the mood.
Chanel about to give you that talk.
About to drop some gems on you. Listen to a little Marsha Ambrosia. Late nights and early mornings.
Yeah.
You won't be sorry.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave you on that note.
Yeah. I'm just gonna say Jodeci. I mean Jodeci and Joe. I got the best of Joe off of somebody's hard drive.
Underrated.
Joe got some jams, man.
Every album.
Joe got some that things your man won't do.
And it's raining in the video. Very good.
Yeah, that joint got some. You know what? Case got some joints too.
Baba.
Case got some joints. I got some things off
with
of
the
hard
ill
drive.
Nana.
Yeah.
You round.
Oh, okay. So on that note, we go. It's your boy DJ Dunn, son on the ones and twos.
It's your girl Chanel Loren, and you are tuned into the Verve Sessions. Thank you so much for listening, guys. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure you share this and
leave a comment.
Leave a comment. Talk to us. Let us know what you think.
Talk back. We'll talk back.
Yeah. Have a good week, guys.